Scientifically, it is said that, well, actually, they don't know why it seems like we have impairments in empathy. All their findings in this have been inconclusive. But for those who need a more scientific explanation, it's very likely we may have low oxytocin. In one study, it was reported that an intranasal spray of oxytocin seemed to much improve empathy, almost indistinguishable from neurotypicals. Maybe my take might open your eyes a little, as science might be missing a bigger part of why they can't find an answer. Being an autistic child, teen, and early adult came with lots of bumps in the road. I recall being called selfish or cold or mean often enough that I felt like that was my second name, and I couldn't really understand why. Many times, these instances resulted in me being ostracized, scolded, or treated meanly without logical cause. I've come a long way since then, but it was a hard learning curve. Maybe you might understand what it felt like from my point of view, in hopes you can understand your loved one a bit more. At the age of 15, I remember seeing friends or family who watched sad movies and cried, or cried at weddings, and I thought, why are you crying? However, oddly, I could understand and empathize more with cartoons or animations. Maybe it was their exaggerated expressions, along with music and sound effects in the background. It was much more clear to me. I cried watching the Beast almost die in Beauty and the Beast, but not so much when watching friends who cried about their boyfriend breaking up with them or their grandmother dying. I knew it was sad, but not enough for me to have an emotion strong enough to cry with them. Do I get it now? Yes. It took me some time to learn. It was as if my brain caught up all of a sudden. Some might call it maturing, and I wouldn't disagree, as my brain might have matured in the areas that it needed to be able to understand, but also it could just be a different point of view altogether that I finally picked up those feelings by changing my understanding. I can tell you firsthand of what I felt, that it's not that we can't or don't empathize. It could be from an entirely different reason that scientists aren't aware of. For example, what a person feels during daily life versus what we can see clearly in movies or cartoons can feel more real. Well, in my case anyway. I could feel empathy, but not just with anyone. An analogy would be if someone was on a dating game show on television, which many people have reported heightened feelings when in the game show, but when returning to reality back home, the feeling is not as intensified. Similarly, very noticeable watching emotions on TV, but not so much in real life. Another possibility might be that sometimes the understanding of specifically what another person is feeling can be missed, as we are not in the same emotional state as the other person. If we aren't feeling sad or annoyed or angry when you or someone else is, we may feel a disconnect. It's not that we can't understand what someone is feeling. It just may be we aren't feeling it ourselves in that moment, or we haven't clearly identified a certain feeling in our mind, as for example, the feeling of being annoyed. My husband is a perfect example of this. Once in a while, I find my husband clearly annoyed by something that I had said, but would deny that he was angered or annoyed. To him, it was a feeling of disappointment, which is entirely a different feeling than what I would have described what he was feeling if I was feeling it. Yeah, I hope that didn't confuse you too much. I hope you enjoyed this different take, and please like, share, and subscribe to help my channel grow. I'll see you in the next video.